probably going to have to restart this. Oh, maybe not. Looks like we're good to go. Sounds like a huge delay, so I'm not sure why I'm getting so much of a delay. I mean, I'm not dropping frames. I'll have to look into figuring out how to get rid of the delay. Give everybody a few more minutes to get in. We'll give an update on Shake and Bake, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, got quite a bit to talk about Shake and Bake. So that'll take up a decent amount of time. Definitely have updates on the converter. Updates on PCMs, ECUs, Holly, Dominator, Big 3 Racing, Gateway, all of that stuff. So I'll get into all that here in a few minutes. I just want to give people a few more minutes to get in, and we'll go from there. All right, so we got Eric, Joe, APG, and Gulam. Hey, appreciate y'all chiming in. I really do appreciate it. We'll get in. We'll get going here in a second. Like I said, we'll give people maybe another minute or two to pop in, and we'll get started like we always do. One bad plum. Thanks for chiming in, buddy. I appreciate it. I know this is your golf night, man. I apologize. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Looks like we got a few people in. So here's the deal with Shake and Bake. Let's talk about the converter first. So without mentioning any names, you guys more than likely can figure it out. But the current torque converter is flashing at 2200, 2250, which is typically a stock Demon torque converter. Now, my setup is different from Hellcats. So the person that sold me this typically deals with Hellcats and Whipples, doesn't necessarily deal with Pro Chargers. So kind of given the benefit of the doubt here, that torque converter may be more built towards a positive displacement supercharger, which the torque comes in immediately, compared to one that's built to support a Pro Charger or centrifugal supercharger, in which the torque doesn't come in until the higher RPM range. So still giving the benefit of the doubts. we'll figure that out when I get back from Rocky Mountain Race Week. So what we did is Mac reached out to Pure Drivetrain Solutions. I'm sure most of you guys are checking out my Instagram and Mac's Instagram on the build. We put a lot of information on the build on our Instagrams. So we reached out to Pure. They came in and said, "Hey, we got the perfect setup for you, and we'll overnight it." Now, I got a little bit of a discount, nothing huge, but I told them, "Hey, we're gonna shout you out. We're gonna put sticker on the car, the whole 9 yards," because they are helping out, and they did cut me a little bit of a break. Not quite. I don't know if we call it a sponsorship. Maybe I'll talk to Pure after I get back, get a sponsorship out of them, and then Cam Motion, they come up big. Literally, we got that cam within like 3 or 4 days of ordering it, and that literally saved us a week or so with that cam coming in so quick. But yeah, the torque converter, possibly put the new one in tomorrow. It just all depends what goes on. Let's talk about ECUs and PCM. So we'll talk about the Holly, the Big 3 Racing, Gateway, and then the stock PCM. So we've been working with Big 3 Racing for the past 3 days. Two days. The past 2 days on getting the Gateway to fully work with the car. So keep in mind, these kits were built to support Hellcats, and we are the first non-Hellcat to put this system on a 6.4, right? So obviously we knew there was going to be some gremlins we were going to have to deal with, and we've been dealing with a gremlin to where the air condition kind of acted a little funky, so we just disconnected it. This was before we got to the dyno. This was testing there in the bay. So we disconnected the air conditioner, started it back up. Everything seemed to be fine. So fast forward, we put the car on the dyno, and I don't have a video of this, so this is the only time you're going to hear it, unless I explain it again later. We put it on the dyno. Dave did some of his tuning magic in the first couple gears and went in for a full pull, and it just wham went into going overheated, and it overheated rather quickly. So obviously he got out of it, and we sat back, did some investigating, and the coolant fans, the radiator fans, weren't being turned on via the Gateway. And so we tried a few different things to recalibrate the Gateway to try and fix the situation, trying to get the fans to work. We did some arguably questionable things to try to get the fans to work, and we just could not get them to work. So we swapped back to the stock PCM. Fans worked fine. So they've worked all day today going back and forth with Big 3 Racing and their engineers. We gave them all the parameters. We gave them my VIN number. We gave them every bit of information that we can to try and help them to get this car, get the car fixed, get the Gateway fixed and controlling the fans. Just hasn't happened. So I haven't talked to I've literally just got off of chatting with Mac and Dave on, what we think the way forward is, and what my thoughts are. Tomorrow's Thursday. We leave Friday afternoon or later Friday in the evening. So hey, we're just going to cut our losses. We're not going to use the Holly, not going to use the Gateway. We'll put the stock PCM back in, do a quick tune, get it, make sure it's right. All right, he did tune it a little bit, but we'll put the stock PCM back in, get her tuned up on the stock PCM. Then we've got a number of things to do. So we got to put the car back together. We got to put the fender on, the front bumper back on. We've got to we got to get the race stars off and put I got Forge Stars F14s, which are much lighter than race stars, and put those on. Possibly do the converter. I know this sounds like a long list, but possibly go ahead and do the converter. Then I need to pack up everything I need that's at the shop into the car. So when we load the car, everything's packed up and ready to go. So that's a long list. The converter may not make it, may or may not make it. It all depends how things go and what time I get there, what time Matt gets there. And it all depends on timing on whether we get the new torque converter in or not. Mac and I both would like to do that. It again boils down to timing. And what's probably going to take a good bit of our time is my race stars. For whatever reason, those shank lugs and the washers get stuck in the wheel wells or in the lug wells, and it just tears up the what am I thinking? It just tears up the stud in the tire, or in the wheel. So now I got to get. I have one. Now I got to get another. I know for a fact I got to get another one because two of them are messed up now. So there's two of them. If you haven't seen the video, the last time we had to drill them out, it's not an easy process. It's not a quick process. But we got to drill those out, get those tires, get those wheels off. I don't have to do the tires because I've got Mickey Thompson on the rear. I've got Mickey Thompson's on the F14s. The front ones will have to get switched over. If we can't get the front ones switched over, I'll just stick with the race stars and we'll go from there. So I know that's a lot, and I'm wrapping my gums for quite a while on everything we need to do to get ready for Friday. And then the plan is I don't want to spend all night there tomorrow night because I want to spend some time with my hot girlfriend before taking off Friday afternoon. And then Friday morning is going to be me packing up everything here that we need to take: cameras, clothes, all of the tech stuff that we need to take with us. We've got walkie-talkies and headphones, so we're going to look like Cletus and George driving down the street with our headphones and mics on and everything. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great time. We are going no matter what. We are going. It's going to happen. It's just we have a lot to do. We have a lot to do, and I'm not sure what's actually going to get done compared to what we would like to see get done. But that's where we are with Shake and Bake. That's where we are with Race Week. Jay, I know Jay is ready. Jay's ready to go, man. He's ramping. So yeah, looking to get on the road. Late Friday afternoon, early Friday evening. Maybe I'll do a video loading up the car and stuff like that, and maybe try and get it put out for maybe Saturday morning. I don't know. We'll just see. We'll just see how it goes. All right, so I'm going to go back up. I'm going to get back in the chat and work our way down. So if you got any questions about Shake and Bake, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I will get to them eventually. So like I said, we got Eric, Joe, APG, Gulam, One Bad Plum. We got 3-Pedal J. I seen Z in there, 6.2 Hemi Power. Appreciate y'all chiming in, really do. So there's Eric. There's the updates on the torque converter. Maybe, maybe not. We have one. We may get it in. We may not. Joe, what up, Don? Spoiled myself. Watch the startup and pulls before the other vids. Sounds nice, man. Hey, I appreciate it. It does. And really, that 360, I love that. I love the Insta 360. But the microphone is just especially with the dyno pulls and stuff, it just seems a little off. But yeah, that microphone doesn't do it any justice. It sounds insane. Erickson, no delay. Okay, all right. Sounds crisp. APG, good evening, buddy. Thanks for chiming in again. Mac had me cracking up in the shop videos. Yeah, he's a character, that's for sure. Gulam, hello, big fan of your build. And if I'm hacking that up, I apologize. I have a Dodge Charger Daytona 2018 5.7, willing to push around 650 to 750 in the near future. Was looking at Hellion turbos, but confused with a Whipple supercharger. Okay, here we go. I always talk about the Hellcat experience, right? So if you're looking for, that kind of Hellcat power, not power, the Hellcat experience. So a Whipple gives you, this is just me speaking out loud, and I know Jay will chime in a minute. But just my simplistic view is if it's a daily driver and you only race it every once in a while, maybe on the weekends, or, a test and tune or something, personally, I would go with the Whipple. You're going to get the power and torque down low in those lower RPMs where you're at daily driving a majority of the time. With something like with a turbo or a Pro Charger, the power comes in later, comes in the higher RPMs, 3,000, 3,500, where you're not in those RPMs a lot daily driving unless you're sticking your foot in it every time you go somewhere or do something. So just my opinion, if it's a daily driver, part-time racer, I'd go with the Whipple supercharger. If you're looking more to do a lot more racing, then I would kind of lean towards the twin turbos. One bad plum. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you chiming in. I really do. I know it's your golf night. Eric, did I get the big screen with the Holly? That thing is so cool. No, I didn't. I don't have any screens with the Holly. So those guys we got a tad break, not much. A tad break from them. So yeah, those big screens are expensive. Let alone the big three, the Holly, and the harness is also not very cheap. All right. Joe's going back to Gulam about turbos. Jay, I always have to search for the feed. Sorry, Jay. Eric's going back to Gulam as well. Yeah, Plum, I seen you had the car out last weekend. That's awesome, man. It's good to see you back out at the track for sure. Eric's going back to Jay. Mike Hauser, what's up, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Joe's going back to Jay. Randy, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, one bad plum. I agree. That type of torque converter is absolutely good for the positive displacement superchargers, and that's what it's for. And yeah, so hopefully we got the right right torque converter, which I think we do, because he pretty much guaranteed me we had the right one. And they actually said, hey, if it's not right, send it back and we'll fix it. If someone else would have said that, I would have been much happier. But to date, hasn't said any of that. So we're going to work on that situation after I get back from Rocky Mountain Race Week. See if we can rectify some of that stuff. Jay, what's up, everyone? Stop being so doggone nice. Hey, I'm a benefit of the doubt kind of guy. I really am. I know what everyone else thinks. I know what everyone in the chat thinks. I know what you think, Jay. But I want to have 100% verifiable proof before I go bashing somebody. If this deal isn't what it's supposed to be, we're going to cause some serious trouble. We're going to cause more on that torque converter later, not now. After we get back from race week, I just want to be happy with what we got now, happy with the plan we got, happy with the car where it's at, and we just go race. So my whole goal for Rocky Mountain Race Week is one thing. That's get there, race all week, put the car back on the trailer, come back home, start the car up, it comes off the trailer, and we can park it in the driveway, and then possibly go racing the next weekend. All right. So that's my goal. If we win something, great. If we go faster than what we think we're going to go, that's great. All fine and dandy. If we win something, gravy. But my goal is just get there, hit all 5 races, come home, and the car still works. Pure actually did come in clutch for sure. I think so, Eric. I definitely think so. So we'll see. I know if we do put the converter in, I think Mac is going to want to go to Summer Duck again tomorrow night. I don't want to stay that late again. I want to spend some time with my hot girlfriend before I leave on Friday afternoon. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens. Mike, my old one was Paramount. So I sent my old one out to be cut open, looked at, cleaned up, put back together, and then put into the new trans. Well, when they pulled the torque converter, I got some kind of shim sham story, I think, because talking to Bill at Paramount, he sent me the right converter. But again, that gets into something I want to get into later. But no, the current one is you can read into my expression. And like I said, I sent it out with the transmission to get looked at. So there's my hint at where the current torque converter came from. Jay's going back to Eric. Eric, now the spicy stuff. Yeah, all right. Jay, the B3R setup is super nice, very clean. Excited to see how this works out for you. Absolutely. I'm definitely excited to see how this works out, but I'm hoping, they can figure it out. Like I said, they've been working all day today, back and forth with Dave, trying to get those fans working with the Holly and the B3R gateway. It just does not look like it's going to happen at this point. So we'll get back to it after we get back from Rocky Mountain Race Week. I'm really tired of, not tired, but we don't have time to be flim-flamming around trying to fix things. Let's put in what works, go do the races, come back, and then we can look at doing some flim-flam stuff. Hard Rock, good evening, buddy. Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Always issuing you first. Yes. Again, nothing against B3R. I have nothing against. They have been phenomenal at trying to get this fixed. It's the first time on a non-Hellcat, and here we are. So they are hard at work, doing everything they can because they want this thing to go to Rocky Mountain Race Week as well. There's Z 6'2" heavy power. All right, buddy. Yeah, get those likes up. Hit that like button, everybody. Hit that like button. Let's see. switch, get a fan switch. That is a possibility. We probably could try to do that. It's really weird. So we tried to take the relay and jump the relay. That wasn't even working. So then we actually took the relay apart and tried internally to jump the relay, and that didn't work. And then we redid the gateway to a 6, I believe it was to a 6.4, and then put it back in and came back, and the switch was just, the relay was just, it was fluttering like a bumblebee. It was buzzing. It was like just going crazy. So fan switch is a possibility. Absolutely didn't think of that. I don't know if we have time to do all of that, because I've got, you know, the 6.4 fans in there. Then we'd have to figure out how to wire all that up. There's just a lot to it. And then, you know, that's another thing I'm going to have to remember to turn on in the car. Not only when we're racing, but when we're driving, I got to turn that on. It's just, you know how I am with adding new things to my routine. It's hard enough for me to focus on my current routine without adding one more thing in there. But a fan switch is a good possibility. After this, I may throw a quick thing over to Mac, see what he thinks about possibly doing a switch. We'll see. Yes, the stock ECU does limit boost. So if we do go with the stock PCM, we may stay with this same pulley, because it's going to be so hot in Oklahoma and Texas and Missouri that I don't think we're going to reach the point of the boost cut. But what we may do, just in case, is go back to the 3.6 pulley until we come back and go from there. But you're right, Eric. Hitting that boost cut is a possibility if we stay on the current stuff. One pie bomb, believe it does. Mike saying the new one will make it in. I'm hoping so, but it's not looking good right now. Because I literally, just before I got on live, I texted Mac and Dave, and it's not looking good. Jay, yeah, race stars are terrible. It's okay, Jay. Don't worry about it, buddy. If I got to go get some, I'll go get some. It's not a big deal. They're not super expensive. I think you can tune around the boost limiter. Yeah, so we knew it was hitting the boost limiter. Dave was trying a few things to work around it. Wasn't working. We didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on the stock ECU, because we wanted to put the Holly and the gateway in there. So we didn't spend a whole lot of time. So maybe we can take some time, look at the stock PCM. Maybe if we flash it to a 6.4, maybe that'll raise that. I don't know. We haven't really deviled into that yet. Again, we're running way out of time. So, I'm not shooting down good idea fairies, but I'm shooting down good idea fairies, because we just don't have the time to be messing around. One bad plum. He's not a fan of race stars either. Do you think it's because the studs aren't long enough as race studs, and the lugs get torqued because of it? So here's what I think it is. And this has happened to me twice already. So this is now the third and fourth time this has happened. What I think is happening is, for whatever reason, the washer that comes with the kits, it's getting stuck on the lug, and then getting stuck on inside the hole. and you can pull it out so far and then it stops. And then as soon as it stops, if you try and back it out, it just stops. So, and it's boogering up, obviously boogering up the threads. So I think that washer is getting stuck and not allowing the lug to come out like it should. And then it's just messing up the studs. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's because I had to pound them out. Once we got the wheels off the last time, I had to take another the lug style or the shank style and pound out the one that was stuck inside the wheel. So that's what I think is happening. It's those washers are getting stuck on the shank and inside the wheel, and it's just stopping it from coming out. It sounds like we're leaving Midnight Friday. No, the plan is not to leave Midnight Friday. I'm with you, Jay. I want to get a good, because it's about 17 hours from here to Tulsa. So I'm with you. I would like to get a good 5-6 hours at least before we get a hotel. Booster Boys was talking about in his last video about welds. Yeah. I went with the Ford Stars F14s this time. I bought a bronze set of stars. Look nice. Those 18 fronts are heavy. They are heavy. Race stars are not light, that's for sure. They're cheap. They are cheap. They work. Don't get me wrong. They work. But they have their problems. Shameless plug. Be sure to watch both MRH and my channel for all of the Rocky Mountain Race Week action. Yep. So we're both going to be posting videos. So this is my first time. So I know Cletus, he was putting out every day or every other day. I'm just gonna have to see how the flow goes and see how much time we have to actually sit down, sleep, and knock out a video. It usually doesn't take me long to knock out a video, but we'll see how it goes. I'm with you, Eric. I can't wait to get her going too. Whipple Insta Power Torque. Yep. That's going back to Gulam. I don't know if you're still on, but that's what I would do. If it's a daily driver, I would go positive displacement. Maybe not Whipple, because I know they're having a lot of problems with a lot of their superchargers. Maybe go Magnuson. But yeah. Instant torque from top mounts. Yep. Yeah, the bronze ones are nice. I went with satin black, but the bronze ones are nice. Unless you are, wait for it, a manual. All right, Jay. Quit rubbing it in, buddy. Eric sure does. Hellcat wraps in dark bronze. I love how they look. Yeah. Hard Rock. Looking at CAI for my 21 Scat, Air Raid, or K&N 69 series. Look into Leg Maker. I would look into Leg Maker or JLT as well. So I won't answer your question, but I'll give you a couple more options. Check out JLT. They make a pretty nice intake as well. Big deal 392. Yeah, I'm a 392 now, bud. Yep, I sure am. I finally made the jump. It might come back with JLT too. Yeah, Hard Rock. Check out JLT. All right, go back and talk about rims. Race coming up, quarter mile. It's all quarter mile. Except for a couple of the really super fast classes. But I think a majority of them are quarter mile. Jay, I like that one, Don. Someone else. Hard Rock JLT. Everyone's coming back JLT Hard Rock. JLT is a move. Yep. They're one of the best. Hard Rock, they do. JLT, they are some proven gains. I know Mac has, I want to say Mac has done a couple IGs where the JLT intakes do have a proven gain to them. Oh, Big Deal's not impressed. I don't know, but I know they're proving gains. I'm going I'm gonna be with you, silly. The car will work. I guarantee. All right, Jay. I know the car's gonna work. We're gonna get through this week and come back, and it's gonna be amazing. Eric, just realized how bad I need a challenger. She's hanging with you guys. Is a good influence. I don't know for a good influence or a bad influence. That's funny, Eric. It just jumped on me. Hang on. There we go. Definitely get some testing in if you have time as well, so you know what to expect. Yeah. If we do the torque converter, I would probably expect Mac to hit the track. Am I going to stay Thursday night to go to the track? I don't want to, because I do want. Again, I got to spend some time with the hot wife. I know a guy with a Granite Gray 15 RT. All right, Mike. Eric, your bank account has a leak. Yeah, mine has a huge leak. It's not a leak. It's like a broken dam. Dells, I can personally attest that Jay will get you the best gains. I went from 306 before to 352 after the JLT and Dave's tuning magic. Yeah, Dave's a wizard, that's for sure. No doubt about it. Mike spent $1,650 on some rig repairs. I hear you. Shannon, Don, are you using 6 or 8 rib? I'm still on the 6 rib. The 8 rib setup is expensive. It's expensive because you got to get a new air condition compressor. Yeah, you got to get all new pulleys and all that stuff. So yeah, 8 rib setup is expensive, but I have not had a problem with my 6 rib setup yet. So until I start having serious problems with my 6 rib, I'm just gonna stay there for now. Dang, yeah, I just had put 5K in my wife's BMW last week. Yeah, all cars are expensive. Those Hemis aren't the only ones, man. You get into some serious problems with your vehicle, it's expensive. Brandon, what's up, guys? Sorry I'm late. I was training, did a multi-ship with 2 Chinooks, and we flew around Washington, Oregon. Nice, man. Nice, Brandon. But yeah, good. Glad you can make it. Appreciate it, buddy. I bet you that was a good trip going around Washington and Oregon in a couple of Chinooks. I like Chinooks, man. They're a nice ride. I get it about switch, but if you do a switch panel, you'll remember. I know, right? All right, Eric's going to Brandon. Brandon's going to Eric. How hard is it to 6.4 flash it? I don't know. I really honestly don't know, to be honest with you. I'm sure it's probably not too hard, but then I don't know. I just don't know. Still within the realm of possible. We'll just have to see how it goes. I know why washers say wheel side on one side. Don't know what the difference is. Yeah, I put all my stuff wheel side. I follow the instructions to a T, and those shanks just suck. They're terrible. Jay's answering the question. 6 rib, hard rock. I don't know. I may add a catback too. Not sure if I should get a tune for my Chalet 392. I think CAI catback and a tune would get me some good power gain without going overboard on my everyday driver. Yeah, absolutely. Depending on your situation, you could go quarter intake, catback, and long tube headers and a cam, and you'd be well over 500. Well over 500 to the wheel. Guys, you can't flash a 5.7 to a 6.4 at a different cam and fueling pro. Well, it's just something that Dave threw out there, Jay. So I was just taking it for what it was. I don't think I can do a Diablo. My PCM is locked. Yep, absolutely. You're gonna have to get your PCM unlocked if you're gonna get a tune. Jay, to tune around the boost cut, Dave will remap the map sensor and make it think higher boost is seen as 22 psi, so it never cuts. Okay, I'm not sure what Dave's gonna do. I'm not a tuner. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not an engine builder, so I let the professionals do that. Is you have to have fueling spot on. Yep. Yeah, get it unlocked. Absolutely. Bronze wheels look good on would look good on Shake and Bake too. Yeah, maybe, but I'm into the kind of blackout scene still. It already is. There are hard codes from the factory that prohibit big boost. I have this problem in my 1357 factory ECU. Gotcha. So we have my map thinking it's seeing 13 psi when it's actually will make 25 psi. Oh, gotcha. So maybe that's what Dave was talking about then. Okay, going back to Hard Rock to unlock is, yep. APG $50. Oh gosh, buddy. Thanks for the donation, man. I appreciate it. That's freaking awesome of you. I really do appreciate it 100%. Dawn, dinner on me one night, Rocky Mount race week. Good luck and give it hell with Shake and Bake. You know, we're going to give it our best shot, APG. You know the deal. We go all out every day, all out. That's the way we roll. That's the way I roll. That's the way we roll. You know how it goes, man. I appreciate the super chat, man. That's more than I would ever expect someone to give me in a super chat, man. I appreciate it 100%. You've been with me for a long time. I know a lot of you have been with me for a long time, but I know APG has been there for a long time, putting bugs in my ear as well, helping me out down this road, and I 100% appreciate it. All right, Jay's talking about cutting fuel and boost, Hard Rock. Okay. I live in Vermont. There's a really good performance shop in my area. Guess I should just ask them this stuff. Yeah, hey, Hard Rock, that's what this chat's for. I mean, that's really what we usually talk about for an hour is people asking questions, saying, hey, what about this? What about that? Who has experience with this? Who has experience with that? If I don't have experience with it, I'll let you know and I'll tell you I don't have experience because I have no problem doing that. I don't know everything and I never pretend to know everything. Like I said, I'm not a tuner, I'm not a mechanic, and I'm not an engine builder, but I've learned quite a bit over the last almost 7.5 years that I will talk about what I know and I will point you in the right direction if I don't know. But that's what this chat's for, man. Come in, ask the questions, and probably 90% of the time, if I don't know the answer, someone has already answered it in the chat before I get to your question. Timothy, what I miss? You missed quite a bit. you missed quite a bit. So torque converter, not sure what we're going to do. We have a new one. We're going to try and put it in possibly tomorrow, but we have a lot of other stuff to do. We were trying to get the Holly working. The Holly's not going to work. We're going to put I think the plan is, I haven't talked to Dave and Mac yet, but probably the plan is to put the stock ECU back in, work around that boost cut and try and get the car to go as fast as we can on the stock ECU until we get back from Rocky Mountain Race Week. And then we're going to fix the torque converter problems we're having with the people that gave it to me. And we're going to work on getting the Holly working through Big 3 Racing. And Big 3 Racing has been awesome. They have been incredible on trying to get this fixed. And again, APG, that's way more than I deserve, man. I appreciate it 100%. And Jay and I will put that $50 to good use. Hard Rock looks like Don's having some steak. Yeah, I know, right? I thought the HP unlock was 1K ish. Well, yeah, I mean, you can unlock your BCM, but then you got to get the hardware stuff. So that's when it gets expensive. So Diablo, you gotta buy the tuner. Whether you go HP or Diablo, you gotta pay the unlock fee, and then you gotta pay the hardware fee, and then with HP tuners, you gotta buy credits, and yeah, it's expensive. What's the weight of the Challenger now? The last time I weighed it was 4340 with me in it. Now, what it is now, I don't know. I'll weigh it if I'm pretty sure the racetrack in Tulsa is gonna have scales there. So I'll weigh it. If I remember, I'll weigh it when I get there and make sure everyone knows what the car weighs. 200 sounds like a no-brainer. APG, thanks, Eric, giving him the hands. Hard Rock, Max the man. He is. The guy's incredible, man. He's done way above and beyond what he should be doing because he's got other people's cars he's supposed to be working on and cleaning out the shop so they can get a lift. He's getting a lift put in, but he's been dealing with Modern Red headache for the last 2 weeks. From shake and bake to steak and baked. All right, Timmy, that's pretty funny, man. That's pretty good. What happened to Mopar Mike? Is he still here? I remember him having some great tips. He is. I haven't seen him in the chat for a while. He's in and out on whether he's gonna actually do anything with his car or not. I don't know. He may be sneaking in here. I mean, there's 17 people in here. He may be in here just sniping. But if you're in here, Mike, appreciate you, buddy. Why won't the Holly work through? What's the problem? It's not communicating. So the problem is, so this is a supposed plug and play deal. So, and what it does is it keeps everything with your car internally the same. So you use the stock sensors, all of that, and everything stays the same except for the use of cruise control. You won't be able to use cruise control. So this setup was specifically set up for Hellcats. We unfortunately took on the deal of being the first non-Hellcat to use this setup. So it's the communication between, it's not necessarily the Holly, it's the gateway that sits between the sensors and the Holly that translates all of those messages to the Holly, and then all the messages from the Holly back to the car talk. Don's simplistic view. So right now, that gateway is not talking correctly to the fans. So, APG, thanks for the partial tank of gas, sir. We appreciate you 100%. Just kidding. I want nothing from Don. Hey, dude, Wolf, Jay, I told you before, we'll figure it out. APG, again, thanks a lot, buddy. Mike Hauser, dang, dude. You guys are humbling me significantly with these super chats. I 100% appreciate it. I really do. It these super chats go a long way into, helping me, helping the build. And it all goes into Shake and Bake. I promise you, everything from YouTube goes back into Shake and Bake in some shape or form. And Mike and APG, I can't express how much I appreciate the support. I really do. That's awesome. The E85 situation. I've seen a few things on Facebook. I've seen a few things on Instagram. It really all depends what route they take between the racetracks. So you have to take a certain route to the next racetrack. You have to take pictures at certain points to prove that you took the right route to get there. So, there's a number of E85 finders out there. I know Jay's got one. I got a different one. So the plan is tomorrow. So part of my morning tomorrow is to go fill up my 8 5.5 gallon cans of E85, so we can take that with us, and then as we hit an E85 station, we can refill those, and hopefully that will keep us rolling through all of the tracks, through all of the racing, and get us back to Tulsa, so we can pack the car on the trailer and head back home. Actually, next Friday we'll be headed back home. So all right. Wide Body Mike's just trying to get his car back up. Eric's clapping for Mike Hauser. I appreciate, again, Mike. I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, the problem. So I do everything through OBS, and the super chats don't necessarily come to the top. So it's like I work my way down, and then I finally see the super chat, or I would address that super chat much faster, much earlier. But I don't see them as fast through OBS as I would if I was watching. Maybe I need to put my phone or my iPad down here and start watching for super chats and stuff like that. But ABG and Mike, again, that's way more than we deserve. But I do appreciate it, and I'm humbled by the amount of you guys support. I appreciate it. Mike saying you're welcome. Thanks again. I wasn't sure why it wasn't working. I thought it was all plug and play as well. It is, and again, it's set up for a Hellcat. So as you know, Hellcats are much different than the Scat Packs and the 5.7s. So when it comes to electronics, there's a lot more electronics and technology in the Hellcat that Gateway supports that's not in a 5.7 or a 6.4. So there's something in there that's just not right from a 5.7 6.4 perspective. Talking to the fans, it's first time non Hellcat to have this stuff. So yeah, I was hoping we weren't going to run into any snafus, but we did, and we're working through it. And either they work through it this evening and get it fixed, or they don't, and we go with the stock ECU. It's neither here nor there at this point. Again, I just want to go there, race, come back, and the car's still running. Is my Scat faster in track mode? Seems like it's faster in sport mode with traction on the street. It's more fun in track mode though. So it is going to be on the street. It's probably going to be better in sport mode because you're not getting all of that torque so fast as you do in track mode. So sport mode is a bit lighter, and could possibly get better traction using sport mode on the street. But if you're at the track mode is going to be better for you 100%. Timothy, your trucking company is named Mjolnir. My daughter's name is Freya. All right. That's awesome. Timothy. So Mike's going back to Hard Rock. Believe in track mode. It tunes the suspension and locks out eighth gear for track racing. It might spice up the shifts. I paddle shift mine while driving. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you got to be careful in track mode, especially on the street, because you're losing some of the traction control. So be careful if you're running track mode out on the street, because it'll get away from you quick. Mike, I also run a taser, always in track mode. All right, Mike, you sound like me, always in track mode. Except I'm a 5'7" and I can only go sport mode. So, all right, folks, we're running down to the last 7 minutes here. The chat's kind of calmed down a little bit. I think I caught up with everybody's chat. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. I didn't miss any chats. If I did, I apologize. We are starting to get a few more people in the weeklies, and sometimes it's hard to keep up with the chat and keep things rolling. And it is a lot of back and forth sometimes, because by the time I get to your chat, someone's already answered it down the way, and then I give you my answer, and then 5 minutes later I see it in the chat and it's someone else's answer. But it just seems to work out. It's worked out this way for golly, I don't know how many months I've been doing this. It's worked out so far. So that's just, I like the open chat. So I don't like to have specific subjects to talk about, because we always seem to go the 1 hour, and I do like to keep it at an hour to 10 o'clock. And then, yeah, you guys always keep me going. There's always, someone asking for advice, or what about this manufacturer? What about this mod? What about that? It keeps me going. But that's why we do this chat. There's a lot of information out there, a lot of smart people in the chat. A lot smarter people in the chat than me. Like I said, usually if I can't answer it, usually someone in the chat has an answer or experience with whatever you're asking about. So, traction control is why my nitrous are about to go. All right, Mike. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's true. But I tell you, the last 2 weeks is taking its toll on this old guy. It's been breaking me down. It's been a lot of work to get this far, and we're so close now. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, or well, at the beginning of the tunnel. We'll see the light at the end of the tunnel the end of next week. But yeah, we'll get there. Hard Rock, thanks for another great show, Don. Hey, like I said, this is what it's all about, man. It's not all about me. It's all about you, and the people participating and chatting and asking those questions, and keeping things going. It's more about you than it is me. I'm just here as kind of a moderator. Taser, you can turn traction all the way off. No doubt. Jay, Eric, that's the best advice. Always stay ready. Yep. Bronski just watched the latest Beast. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, she's getting there. She's getting there. I'm full of good ideas and positive motivation. Thanks, Eric, buddy. I appreciate it 100%. Dawn, can you help me build an engine? I have no idea what I'm doing. Just watch my videos, Jay. You can learn from Mac, because I'm not an engine builder. Mike, you rocked on. Keep up the great job. Love the content. Don't see any. No, I don't. I don't kiss up to any manufacturers, because I have no reason to. None of them folks have given me a break, so I have no ties to them whatsoever. And you're going to get my honest opinion of things that I've done, things that I've experienced, things that I've bought, things that I don't like, things that I like. You're going to get it. You're going to get it all. There's no reason to hold back. But I do give people, when there is that inch of doubt, I do give people the benefit of the doubt until I have absolute proof that things are wrong and not right. And then I'll tell you, hey, yeah, this is not right. It is what it is. But we're coming up on that 10 o'clock, folks. I appreciate the support. I know I say it 1,000 times in each one of these videos. I appreciate the support. It's really you guys that keep me going, keep me wanting to do this, week in, week out, create these videos, edit the videos, put them out there. It's not a lot of work, but it does take some time, a couple hours to do a video and get it posted and stuff. But you're the reason why I do it, and you guys are the reason why I'm going to still do it. And yeah, we're just going to go from there. Y'all going to Carlisle for nationals? I don't know. I'm going to have to see once I get back from Rocky Mountain Race Week, and I like to go there. It was a good time the last time I went. We may go again. I may have to do that. Good night, Don. Have a safe trip. APG, I appreciate it, buddy. Again, the super chat, I appreciate it. But y'all know the deal. Now we're at 10 o'clock. Y'all know I like to cut this off in an hour. And you guys even stopped chatting right at an hour. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But that is going to do it for this, folks. Hope you all have a great night, great rest of the week. Get into the weekend and stay out of this heat, because it's supposed to be hot the rest of this week. But that's going to do it for this, folks. Brandon, can I borrow $50 towards some ID 700, 1700? I hear you, man. Those injectors are expensive, no doubt about it. But all right, folks, that is going to do it for this one. Till next, we probably won't do a live next week. I may possibly do one. We'll see. It's possible we could do one from the hotel room during Rocky Mountain Race Week. So stay tuned for that one. I'll put out a community message on what we're going to do. But that's going to do it for this, folks. Till next time. All right, adios.